Derby County secured a huge win yesterday as they beat QPR 1-0, and it was a massive game for me. And it was a massive game in terms of the fan base and everything like that, and especially to see sort of how we react to the victory that we picked up in midweek up against Norwich City. Now, there's obviously a lot of things that we can discuss in this video, and we're going to be discussing mainly the Derby versus QPR game, but also how we could move forward from this back-to-back victory as we sort of head into the game versus Sheffield United, I think it is, on Saturday. It's a huge game for Derby County, and it's 2 back-to-back wins now. But if you have not done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on that notification bell. But let's get into it. If you have not done so already, check out the links down in the description. We're trying to hit 50 subscribers on the gaming channel so that I can live stream FC, Football Manager, and all things like that. So make sure you go and subscribe over there, and I'll catch you in one of the live streams soon. Now, obviously, it was Carlton Morris that popped up with the winner after about 10 minutes, I think it was. It might have been a bit later than that. But obviously, a really, really good goal for me. It was a very good set-piece situation. Johnston not letting the ball go backwards, which I think Derby County haven't done very well over the course of recent years. And I think it was very good to see someone just put the ball back into the box and obviously have someone run onto it like Langas did, which opened the opportunity for Carlton Morris. I don't think it goes in without Morris's touch, though. And I think it's a huge victory for Derby County and a huge goal for Carlton Morris. Now, obviously, in regards to QPR, they've had a good start to the year, to be completely honest. And I'll be completely honest, I was very shocked by the performance today. I'm not going to lie. I anticipated they'd be much better than they were. I thought they'd create a lot better chances. And ultimately, I thought they were a better side. Obviously, I did my pre-match waiting room across the course of YouTube and TikTok and things like that. And I had a lot of people telling me that we needed to watch out for Madsen, needed to watch out for Kone, Burrell. But ultimately, I didn't really feel that they caused us any real problems, if I'm completely honest. And I think that can also be said about the likes of Koki Sioto and Harvey Vale, who were dragged off at half-time for Elias Chair and Karamoko Dembele, who, again, I don't really think had an impact on the game. Don't get me wrong. I think Karamoko Dembele got on the ball a lot, Elias Chair got on the ball a lot, but I don't necessarily think they created a great deal of opportunities. Now, QPR, as of right now, are sitting 9th in the division. Derby County in 17th. There's 4 points separating the two sides. And I genuinely thought QPR were going to come to the game today and be by far the better team. And I genuinely thought they would dominate the game and create a ton of chances and ultimately come away with 3 points. But that didn't happen. And I'm going to be completely honest, it should have happened because of how well they've played so far this season. But ultimately, the big discussion around this game for Derby County was how they can sort of continue from that second half versus Norwich City. And I think they did an excellent job from the off, if I'm completely honest. And I think that shows in the fact that of how early we scored, because I think if we go through our games this season, I don't think we've scored that early in any game. It was Carlton Morris after 10 minutes. It reminded me very much of, I think it was when we played, was it Blackburn Rovers back in about March time, where we scored really early on. And then I think we scored again a few minutes later. And ultimately it set the stall out for the game. And I think the Carlton Morris goal that came early on in the game really set the stall out and really sort of put, QPR on the back foot. It meant that Derby County could be tough in defence. It meant that Derby County didn't really have to sort of go out the way and create a ton of chances. But ultimately, Derby County still did. And I personally do believe that Derby County could have won today 3 or 4-0, if I'm completely honest. And the big problem for me from today's game wasn't anything to do with the performance. It was all to do with the Max Johnston injury and how that's going to impact us going forward. And then also the situation in Bobby Clark in playing in central midfield. Now, I thought today, it'll be yesterday as you're watching this video, but I thought today Bobby Clark was phenomenal. I thought Bobby Clark was arguably our best midfielder, if I'm completely honest. If we just go through a couple of his numbers, 24 out of 31 passes completed, 2 chances created, 5 defensive contributions, 45 touches, 4 passes into the final third. He was only dispossessed once. He made 10 recoveries and he won 6 out of 10 ground duels. Now, many people say that Bobby Clark is lightweight. Many people say that he can't play in that deeper role. But if I'm completely honest, Bobby Clark and David Ozo have got to be the starting midfield too, heading into the game next Saturday. If I'm completely honest, that is what we have to do. Because I think Bobby Clark offered something completely different to that of Ibu Adams, in a sense of he offered a link between the midfield and the defence, a link between the midfield and the attack as well. And I think that is absolutely what Derby County need. And that is why I've probably spoke about it a lot recently in regards to Kenzo Heldmine. It's one of the reasons why I've been so frustrated about Derby County letting Kenzo Heldmine go out on loan, because I just felt as if Kenzo could have helped Derby County in this current position. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone will have their own, but I just felt as if Kenzo Heldmine could have played that role that Bobby Clark played today. Absolutely could have played that role. And I feel he would have been brilliant in that role. And I think as much as many people are going to look at Bobby Clark and Kenzo and say that Bobby Clark's the better player, which he probably is, don't get me wrong, I also think that being a better player also comes from actually being able to play in your position and in those positions. And I think whenever Kenzo played in that deeper role, I thought he was excellent. I think if you go back through pre-season, Kenzo Heldmine was a huge reason why we created a load of chances. A huge reason why Corey Blackett-Taylor had an incredible pre-season. But we decided to let him go, which is fair enough. Needed to bring in a winger. We brought in Brereton Diaz and obviously let Kenzo go. Obviously Ben Osborne, Jake Rooney also went out as well. Dejan Brown, another one who went out on loan. But for me, I've not got a problem with Bobby Clark at all. I actually really like Bobby Clark. If you watch my streams, if you have spoke to me about Derby County at any point, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Bobby Clark's. And I was really impressed when he signed, and I'm glad to see him in the team and actually getting that opportunity now. And I just think that he needs that opportunity to play in that central role for me, because why he's playing in that central role, I think he's going to be incredible for Derby County, and I think he's going to be able to really push us forward. And I think having that link between the midfield and the forward line, it gave Patrick Agyemang proper outlet. It gave Carlton Morris a proper outlet as well. You look at Brereton Diaz as well, and I think having that link was brilliant. Clark, with some of his passes, was outrageous, by the way. He did this really nice reverse pass. I think it was into Carlton Morris. I think it was in the first half, which I thought was absolutely stunning. And you don't get that from Ibu Adams. You don't get it from a midfield of Ibu Adams and David Ozo. You don't get it from a midfield of Travis and Ozo, or so on and so forth. And that's what I think Derby County really need in their team going forwards. And hopefully that's something that we'll be able to deal with the introduction of Bobby Clark. And obviously, as we know, Derby County absolutely deserved to win against QPR. Probably could have won by more, but unfortunately weren't able to put the ball in the back of the net more. But what a great result it was for Derby County. You can let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments if you have not done so already. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.